Hi guys, so today I got another package, and actually I probably could have just shown it in the same video I did with the bow tie, but I didn't wait long enough for my UPS guy to come by. So I did get two things in the mail today. Now what happened was HSN had a 20% off coupon, and I was just looking at this other item right now on their website. I'm like, why did I buy that? I guess I just wanted to lump it in because why not? So I got 20% off of one of the items, which was this. And it's the Griffin card making Compendium dies. Now I wanted this the last time they had it, and it sold out before. I don't even know that she showed it. Well, I think she might have shown it, but I wasn't paying attention and it totally flew by. And I wanted to use that 20% off coupon on it, but I could not. So this time when the 20% off coupon came up and I saw that this was out, because I go to the tabs and I'll click on like card making and scrapbooking, and then I click on newest to filter it by newest, and that popped up because we're on our way building up to the last craft day of HSN's year. So it was there and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna use the coupon on this. And even shipping wasn't that crazy, I don't think, on this. It might have been. Let me see. Yeah, $5.50, which isn't bad. This is basically the size of the, stuff I ordered whenever I did the double-sided boxes from Crafter's Companion, but they wanted $12.50 for shipping on HSN for some reason. So $5.50, I basically got $18 off. So to me, even if I waited for the craft day, it made sense just to go ahead and buy it now, so we can start looking at it and things. But basically what this card making compendium is, it's actually more dies than I thought. Later I was like, what? So there's a die here that'll cut a 5x7 card. Now we can cut that by hand, obviously. It's not a big deal. But I guess if you wanted to run this through your machine and just kind of make it easy, it's going to give you your score line, hopefully, right? You have it here. Or maybe there's other reasons why you would want to do that. I don't know. But maybe you just don't want to pull out your trimmer. I don't know. But it does come with 5 layers that would work on a 5x7. These would also work on a smaller card, right? But they're basically sized for the 5x7s. And this one's like a ticket shape, which says one of the classic shapes she always has. Again, another 5 there. We have maybe 4x6. I don't exactly remember all the names of the sizes. Let me see. Or the sizes, should I say. Let me see if it says here. Yes, so we have A2 dies, A6 dies, and A7 dies, which is the 5x7 that I showed you. 4.5 by 6.25 is the A6 dies. And then your standard A2 size dies. So these are the A6. And then we have, again, 5 of each of these. And this is going to be it was $89. I don't know that that's the markdown price, because sometimes they start off with enough for the price and they bring it down, right? Either way, it was 89 bucks. I remember it being 89 last time. So then you have your dies that kind of coordinate with that. Again, you can mix and match them. You might have different spacing, because they're made for certain dice shapes or sizes, should I say. And this is your A2 size. Again, maybe those are just extra, but it's kind of nice to have. Or like, let's say you want to cut an aperture in your card, so you can put this on your paper, put your card, and then you can also eyeball where you're going to put your aperture and put that down. So I'll do another video on that so we can see why we would want to use this outer one when you can just cut a piece of paper, right? And then we have the concentric ovals, and then this kind of nice decorative element there. And then these are for your envelopes. Now there's not an envelope die in here, but this is just to make a liner for your envelopes, like if you want to match your paper. And supposedly these are for your address labels, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4 different sizes there. Again, this is really pretty, just make a card out of, how we make cards when you don't cut the very top and you can just kind of open it up, make a shaped card. And then it has the word to. So, really pretty. I'll probably do a whole review just of them. And this kind of was saying, like, this one she has an aperture, but she did it on vellum. And then you have your little ideas here. It says cut your liner and all that stuff. So we'll talk about that then. Now, my mom is visiting right now. This is kind of the nighttime. The kids went to the park. And so I think in this video, I don't know which one's easier. Actually, I might take back what I'm saying. I don't know which one's easier to review, because this is the new Crafter's Companion Precious Memories Waterfall card. Now they have all the Precious Memories stuff obviously on Crafter's Companion. They sold out. They're not going to send it out again until November 20-something. So I did not get any kind of discount on this on HSN. I just wanted to add it and try it out. Again, we have until the end of January to return it if we don't like it. Or let's say the price is better on craft day. No problem. I'll order it then and I'll return this one along with some other things I was thinking about returning anyway. This stuff looks very, not complicated, but there's a lot to go along with it. So you know, and I love Crafter's Companion because they're very innovative and like fun things. I like math. I like doing things like that, and that's great. Not a problem. Or like things that have a lot of steps. Other than, you know, I'm saying like when I make like those little characters. Oh my gosh! And actually, this month's box is a characters die set, the subscription box. But it's very basic. It's just like a front stamp, a back stamp, and you can just cut it out. So it's not a layered character like some of these other character little die sets. So I got this one because I thought this is one thing I would like to try. But at the same time, I don't know if it's supposed to be on its own or if you're supposed to put it in the book. So if you're going to buy all of these dies right now on Crafter's Companion, they have them available. And for whatever reason today, I have 30% off the site because they're giving you an extra 10% off what you normally would get. And it showed the whole set for $203. That's all 7 die sets, 2 stamp sets, I think pokey tools, magnets, and 2 paper pads. And I was like, sweet, you know what, maybe I will order it. But every time I throw it in my basket, it would go up to the price of $243. There was some kind of glitch in there that was still showing, I guess, the price from before, like when they had their birthday week. And then when I got real about it, it was like, oh, no. It went to $243. And I'm like, what the heck? So it was supposed to be on sale for $220 something during the birthday week with my discount. Plus the 30% or the extra 10 brought it down to $203. And that's kind of what it was showing, but it would not let me actually buy it for that price. So I'm like, this is weird. So I didn't buy it because on HSN, they have the set of 5 basic dies that go along with this Precious Memories things. And I think they have it for $119 right now. So I don't know when you're going to watch this video or when I'm going to upload it. Hopefully in the next day or two or, you know. And right now they have $15 off of 75 coupon. That's not good enough because the shipping is $10 on the big kit. So they're $119. It's like marked down to $119. So that's probably the price they're going to keep it at. I don't see that they would reduce it any further. But hopefully between now and then there'll be a 20% off coupon that maybe I'll get it that way. And then I'll think about returning. Like I said, I didn't get a discount on this. I don't know why I added it. I guess because it was cheaper on HSN than it was on Crafter's Companion site, even during their birthday week. I got it for $26 is what they have it on Crafter Companion. HSN for. So what I thought it was a waterfall card, but now that I look at it, I'm like, I think you have to have it inside of another card. Well, we'll see. We'll figure that out. This is going to be a lot to work on, her to think about for it to work. So I don't really know that this is something I want to work on right now because my mom, you know, she's milling around and I don't know. I have to make a choice. So whatever comes next will be that, and then the next day will be the next thing. I'll do these within a day or two of each other. So let me think about what I want to do, and we'll get started. Okay, guys, so it's getting late, and I was looking at that waterfall card, and it's going to be something I really have to think about. So we're going to just try out the card making compendium real quick. And I'm going to use a smaller size just to make it a little bit quicker. But what I'm going to do is show you what you would do to, like, let's say make a shaker card. Of course, you can just mat and layer these guys. Like, you just cut, you know, obviously stack them up, use some foam adhesive to make them, you know, separate layers. And then obviously you have to decorate with something pretty, make an aperture and just an opening. And I'll show you kind of how to do that, but we're going to make it look like a shaker card. I might not fill it with any glitter right now. I just kind of want to show you the idea. Because like I said, it's late, but I want to try this out. And really, I think I could have gone without this bigger card base. What I would have liked is if she had some rectangles that would mat and layer your cards, right? Because, you know, a lot of times when you cut that, maybe you're a little off or it's not as straight as the first layer. And if you had something that was always going to cut it the same way every time, I think that'd be better. Don't you agree? I mean, she could have saved that metal and done that instead. I really have to just rip this open because that's just how it's going to work. So I picked out from that same Solstice pack from Die Cuts with a View that I've been using recently, this really pretty card base. And basically I used it before and I thought this would work. So it's not really wimpy, but because it has like a little thickness to it, the die, but it is, you know, still kind of flimsy. You want to be careful with it. Don't just bend it out of shape. And I'm going to place it with the die edge, cutting edge facing down. And just kind of place it here. Now what I was saying earlier is, like, if you wanted to make an aperture in your card, I'm just going to cut into this. I would lay this on here, right? And maybe put a little tape so it doesn't move. And then let's say you want to just make like an opening in it and you want to run it through all at once, and then you're going to have your card ready to go. Just put that down, put this guy on there, tape it down, and then run it through, right? With your same cutting sandwich so you can get that cut out. And when you're done, when you open it up, it's going to be a card with a aperture cut out in it. Okay, so that's one way you can use those. That might be kind of useful. Instead of cutting up your card and then going and eyeballing everything, you can kind of help. That kind of helps look at it, in my opinion, it does. But for right now, I just want the card. Now, I'm using the Gemini Junior, and its cutting plate is basically just the size of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just as wide and just as long. I mean, you might have like a 1/4 inch on the edge here. And I'm going to put, obviously, the whole sandwich. I don't know that I need everything on here, but I do want to make sure that everything is covered. So I have the metal shim, the magnetic shim, the white plastic shim, and then our cutting plate again. And hopefully the card, I just want to make sure the card's going to cut. Okay. And I'm going to turn it this way because let's see what happens. No? It doesn't want to go in. Let me try that again. Actually, let me... Oh, no. It's doing that thing where it takes the top plate but not the rest. Let me stop this. I did this again the other day, remember? Let me unjam this and we'll try it again. For whatever reason, I just turned it off, and when I turned it back on, it just went ahead and cut through. So I don't know why I didn't want to bring it in, but I do know why. Because when I use all the shims plus this whole line right here, it makes it harder to cut through. So I'm just going to run it back through so that this last edge gets cut correctly. And this time, I'm not going to use the metal shim. It's just going to be the magnetic... and the plastic, the white plastic shim plus the cutting plate again. And I'm going to run it through, hopefully this way, if it lets me. I need to activate. There it goes. Let's go. Yeah, it really takes some work to get past that little edge, you know? You hear that? Again, this is the Gemini Junior. I mean, it might be a different story if you're using something else. Okay. And that cut perfectly. So let's not use the metal shim this, next time, because you really don't need it. And then it just makes it that much thicker that the thing is going to struggle. Okay. So the next, I'm going to put that to the side for now. The next thing we're going to cut is, we're going to cut an aperture. And I just made a piece of paper that's going to mat over this. And so I cut it at 5 by 3 3/4. Okay, so basically 1/2 inch altogether smaller on all sides. So a 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. So 5 by 3 3/4. And I haven't really measured this or what I want to do with it, but let me... Cutting plate, white shim, magnetic mat that I haven't really used to cut on like that before. Again, because it just keeps cutting into it, but I'm just going to use it that way. And I'm going to eyeball what's the best size for this thing. Maybe this one. And then this next smallest one. Yeah. So I'm going to use not the largest one, but the second and third largest. And what we're going to do first is in this piece that's going to go on top and mat that, we're going to cut and hopefully... kind of set wherever you want to put it. If you want to put it up higher, that's up to you. I'm just going to put it kind of centered. And I'm going to get a piece of tape and hopefully that's straight. And the reason I'm taping is because I'm going to go ahead and flip this over and put the other cutting plate. So again, cutting plate, white shim, magnetic mat, die face up into the paper, and then the other cutting plate. I think it sounds horrible. Okay. And we're just going to remove this. So we just made the little aperture like you would on any shaker card, So it's going to be right here. And now we're going to make it just a little frame to go around that. So what we're going to do is double up those sizes that I told you that we needed to use, right? So the second and third largest. I'm going to get this blue piece of paper here. Sorry, I'm still kind of under the weather. So all we're doing with this is making a frame that we're going to use a little piece of frame that ends up sitting there. So let's just do that, plus this guy. And I'm going to tape it so it doesn't move. You don't want these bunching up over each other because then you're going to mess up your machine. Okay, you can put more tape if you feel like, you know what, I better. I don't want to. Put some there and put some here. I'm going to flip it over again. Again, same cutting sandwich that you saw. The cutting plate, white shim, magnetic shim, die face up with the paper face down. And run that through. It sounds real healthy. So weird. I want to say it made like stress marks, but no, that's something else. Okay. And people ask about keeping your plates from warping. Mine have been really great, to be honest. I mean, this has a little bit of a bow, but like I just run it through this way, run it through that way, you know, turn it around, whatever you need to do. So basically what we did right now with those two is just made our little aperture, and it's kind of cute. It got a little embossing on there. I don't know how or from what, but so you see that there? So to make your shaker card, I'm just going to put this together really quickly, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to do the whole, what would be a tutorial on this. But go ahead and fold your card in half. The score mark, I'm assuming, is there. I don't really see it too well, but if you put your two ends together, it's going to make it easier to kind of want to score on that line. And it scored really easily. It looks really nice and crisp, so that's great. That's our card base. Let me close up just a little bit. I know I'm making this kind of a quick thing, but I'm not kidding. It's kind of late. I don't know why my kids are at the park. Late for me is, you know, it's 6:30. So time change, it's going to be 5:30. Can you imagine? It's going to be so dark. Anyway, you can also put foam adhesive on this if you wish, but I just like it nice and flat there. And I'm just going to put that over this opening. And you can do this with any size card. And I will, at the end of this, and someone alerted me the other day that they don't see the links that I am describing. So at the end of the videos, YouTube lets me put pop-ups that you can click on. And maybe if you're on a, you know, a certain device, maybe they don't show up. I don't know. So I'll try to remember to put it in the description box. It'll be the tutorial for the shaker box, subscription box from Crafting Companion from last month. I think it was last month. It has like 4,000 views right now. People really like it. So it's a good one. But go ahead and check that out. So we already made our frame and everything. So what you need is a piece of acetate. Now you can use the same size, the larger size, to cut a piece of acetate that you can stick on the back. Or you can just cut a piece of acetate that's the same size. That's 5 by 3 3/4 and glue it around here. Obviously, put your little acetate. It can be packaging, you know, like, let's say you're not going to use this or whatever and you still have the plastic. You can use this plastic for that. Just cut it. It cuts really easily. Or actual acetate if you know, bought some. And then you're going to stick that on there. And then the way I do it, very easy, is I would put dimensional adhesive strip, like those strips that they sell in rolls, all along the very edge around here. And that way, when you put your little sparkles, you can put them on, well, I would put them in here in the middle. You'll see in the video, obviously I'm not doing that whole thing right now. I would just place them there, and then now we have everything all together and pop it down. And now you have the adhesive, you know, separating your aperture piece from the background. You're going to see this little background that's so pretty with the flowers, well, with this paper. And then you have your sequins in there. Maybe you put your little sentiment in there if you think, or just put the sentiment out here. Do whatever you like. Put some little dried flowers in it. I think that'd be really cute, like those little small ones. And just make yourself a beautiful card. And I think that's really fun. So you have all the elements there in this kit to do that. And I like it. I think these colors actually look really great together. If you wanted to, you could just take the foam adhesive and really line around here, but that's much more difficult. And if you put the foam adhesive here, there is so little space just in these little corners that your glitter's not just going to hide there, you know what I'm saying? Especially when someone receives it, it's going to be just laying out everywhere anyway. So I always like to just line the very corners and the edges nice and sealed. Don't, you know, make sure there are no gaps. And now you have a nice shaker card. And then what you could do with that also is, let me pop this off and get this put back. Cut out your liner card. I don't know that we need a tutorial for that. Obviously these dies are just your basic shaped dies that they cut, you know, as far as that, I mean, that's great. I don't see any problems. So what you would do with this one is go ahead and get your little A2 size envelope that you might have already pre-purchased, or maybe you're going to make your own, you know, fold it up with your score pal or however it is that you like to make folder envelopes. And then you just cut this little liner out. This one piece right here. And all you do is put adhesive let's pretend this is the liner. I just cut it out and it's like here, right? I would put adhesive on the back, just on the very tip of it, the little corner here on the back, and then put it into your envelope and stick that down. And that way, it kind of just makes it easy. As far as like, if you really glue it all down and you try to fold your envelope again, it might make it harder if it's really glued down. So you just need to glue that little part and just make sure, obviously, it's tucked into your envelope, the rest of this part. And apparently you're going to have to make a score mark here because there isn't one already made there. There's nothing there. So make your little score mark, put your adhesive on the back, and stick it down in your envelope, and then just make sure that part sticks to it. And this appears to be a 1/4 inch or so smaller than the rest of the envelope, so when you put it in there, don't put it at the very tip, and I'll show you a picture of that. Don't put this at the very tip of your envelope, you know what I'm saying? Bring it down a little bit so you have like about a 1/4 inch or so there, and you'll see what it will look like once you get it in there. And that's it. And then you have your labels if you want to make address labels, which is just pieces of paper that are going to be mats and layers. So thanks for watching, guys. I will definitely try to wrap my head around this waterfall card. To be honest, I'm just like, maybe I just want to return it. I don't know. Sometimes it's a thing like that. I like to make them myself without dies, but at the same time, it just has a lot of steps. But I'll try to get that going. So thanks for watching, guys. You know, as far as the value of this, I mean, that's up to you. I think it's something you definitely want to get a coupon on if you can. But if not, it's really nice. I mean, I like it just for the amount of these dies that are in here. And even the envelope liner dies, it's really nice. So, I mean, you get a ton of dies in this set. So, I think it's probably well worth it. So, thanks for watching. And I will see you all at the next one. Bye now. You know, real quick, I did want to mention, if you want to run it back through the main die with your rubber embossing mat, you'll get a nice embossing with any of these things, actually. But I did want to show you, just running it through, it did get that little embossing all around. So, it kind of makes a frame. And it's a nice even frame, so it's not a mistake or anything like that. I think, you know, she made it so that when you do that, you have that nice little border on there. And I know it's hard to see on this card because of the nature of the card, but if I put this on here, it's nicely centered within that. So I think if you're going to mat it, yeah, definitely go with a little mat that's 5 inches tall by 3 3/4 inches wide. And of course, with the rest of them, about 1/2 inch smaller with any of the other sizes all around would be a great measurement, okay? All right, and now I will go. Bye now.